everyone. So where have I been? Let's just get right to it. I've been off social media for about the year and things just got super overwhelming. I was emotionally drained with my sister and her diagnosis. I was building a life with my boyfriend, which takes my energy. And then I was managing and am currently managing my basement renovation turn apartment. Plus working because I make all of my income. I make 90% of my income from nursing, gang. Like, I know I sold a few courses and this and that. It's like most of my income comes from nursing. I make like 5 grand a month. Okay. So social media was literally at the bottom of it all. Late 2023, we found out my 30-year-old sister had stage 4 lymphoma. That news about my sister, that news about my sister getting cancer was one of the most painful things I felt. And it just rocked our family to the core. Believe it or not, me and my sister were like fighting during that time. But it still never changed the amount of pain, the amount of prayers, the amount of emotions it took out of me during that time. You know, it's because she was stage 4, right? So, like, every 2 weeks for having chemo and hearing from my mom and my aunt, like, the buildup between the anxiety she would have, the throwing up, the bald head, and getting skinny and looking sad. Ah, that was just so hard on us last year, gang. That's why I couldn't even do social media anymore. But I'm happy to say she is cancer free. Woohoo! I might post at the end of this video the last day that she rang the bell. I was actually upset too because, like I said, me and my sister, we kind of get into it where it's like even in her fucking treatment, like she would rip my head off, all this, kicked me out, I left. So I'm like, I'm not talking to her, blah, blah, blah. But then on the last day, like nobody even invited me, gang. Like Aisha's friends were driving up, my other sister was driving up, my mom was driving up. No one told me about it. So I literally got on the train and I'm like, yo, I cannot live with myself if I'm not there for my sister's last chemo. And I pulled up. She was shocked to see me. And she had this long ass black wig on. And I'm just like, bro, of course I would be here. Of course. Where else could I even want to be? We just got to watch her ring the bell and her friends surprise her, and it was so amazing. Yeah. It was so amazing. So yeah. So I was dealing with family stuff. Also boyfriend. Uh my boyfriend is a single dad, and we were a lot more involved, a lot more spending time, a lot more building a life, just time together. Like, I needed so much emotional support last year. Like, he was really there for me, man. Dylan is his name. So it's been up and down with that, and being in the financial space. Well, I think there's 3 types of guys. Like, there's the spectrum, right? And the far end is like the bum ass, you take care of him, etc. The other end is the provider, he takes care of you. Unfortunately, I don't have this. I have a guy in the middle, a contributor. We both contribute, and he's a great partner. So that's a type of guy I have. Last year as well, I've been doing full-fledged construction on my basement. This is so important why ownership matters. because I wouldn't have been able to buy my second property if it wasn't for my first. And if I didn't own my first, I just wouldn't have built wealth. Like, I do whatever y'all can to own something, but with your house, it has to be way lower than your means, under 50% of your means. So that might be a little shack, that might be a little rental, that might be not a condo. I would never recommend. But because I planted that first seed of home ownership, when that went up in value, because everything goes up. Don't you hear your grandparents when they're like, well, Lincoln, I used to get a Coke for a quarter. And well, why does it cost me $1.50 to $2 now? Like, what is that reasoning? In your day, it was 25 cents, but in my day, it's $2. How did that happen? I don't know. I'm not an economist. I'm guessing inflation, but all that matters to know is if you own something and you held it for 20 years, that thing that you owned went up in value. That thing that you owned went up in value. That's my little rant on home ownership. But anyway, I owned my first and it allowed me to buy my second. And I've been doing full-fledged construction on that. I'm creating an ADU, which is an additional dwelling unit. Basically, I'm making a basement suite. I'm making a basement apartment that I can rent. Okay? And that has been hell as well. So, hi, good afternoon. I'm in the Caribbean gang, so you gotta say good afternoon to people. So, yeah, that project has been a work in progress because I'm fully funding it as well. Up to this point, I spent about freaking 20 grand on it. And I can do a breakdown for y'all in another video, everything that's cost me so far and some of the stages of it, etc. Just so y'all can see, what I'm doing. This is a financial channel but it's also like my real life, right? I went from living in a basement apartment as a nurse, driving my hoopty so I can save, to getting my first property, to holding on to that and it going up in value. Just like McDonald's costs more over time, the groceries cost more. By owning, it went up in value. And I took that little bit of money out and got into my second. That's where shit really hit the fan. And this construction project has taken so much out of me. It takes so much of my time. I'm either working on it or I'm getting people to work on it or I'm going to work so I can afford to get people to work on it. And I just can't wait to tie that up with a bow. It's been 2 years now that I've been working on it, and I'm just ready for that to be done and get that off my plate so I'm clear again and I can think, what's next for Lakin? What does she want to do? Some of y'all might say, oh, Lakin, just pay a contractor, let them do it, let them handle it all. But with the contractor, they make a certain percentage because they're the one doing the whole renovation and coordinating, from the electrician to the HVAC to the plumbing to the flooring to but it's like you don't learn nothing and I'm at the mercy of him. It's like I wanted to be in the mix first and foremost to know that I'm not getting ripped off, and number two, so that I can learn. And I've learned so much and I still have so much going. So yeah, so that was my 2024 and why I took such a break from social media. I was just drowning in family, relationship, and construction. Drowning. So I had no space for social. So anyway, this 2025 rolls around, February. I'm currently in Barbados visiting my dad. If you've been following me for a minute, like just 2 years ago, we just reconnected and are building our relationship, and that's really nice. I'm staying at his house right now. He lives in a little, if you can see, just a little house. Just a little house. So I'm out here spending that time. And yeah, but 2025 is going to look a lot different for me. I have been grinding and toiling and fighting for so long. And this year, I'm just like, yo, you really need to get out there. You really need to do the things that you're able to do. My friends around me, married, my friend pregnant, babies, obligations. And I'm still, I don't have kids yet that I'm solely responsible for. So I have to take advantage this year. And I really am going to travel. I'm going to travel as much as I can. Yeah. And kind of get back in touch with myself, because last year I really kind of I just want to refocus in many ways, and I'm trying to get back in touch with myself and what makes me happy, and it's definitely building my relationships with my family. That's why I'm in Barbados, and also I get to miss the winter back home, but this is important to me. The benefit to all y'all that you know met a parent later in life or anything. Uh, you think, what's the point? Whatever. The point is, it's another human being that loves you, another human being that's there for you, another human being to support you. And that's what I need at this point in my life, support. That's really what I need. That's why I have the boyfriend I do. That's why I have the relationships I do. I need support. Because I work and I make money and I hustle and I'm ambitious. I need freaking support. So, yeah. So 2025 is a big year for me, gang. I'm going to be traveling, prioritizing traveling and seeing the places I want to see, before I have to walk, investing back in the stock market. I thought I was an investor. Nah, for the past 5 years, I've been a trader and I've lost tens of thousands of dollars by doing that. That'll be another video. Putting a ribbon on my apartment construction, building and continuing to build with my family and my significant other. But it is so nice to be back. Let me know any more updates y'all want in my video. And yeah, I'll be back on YouTube. And you can follow me on Instagram at Lake and Banks. And yeah, gang, I missed y'all. Bye.